There is a contradiction in the Shulchan Aruch. What you do with the oil that's left after you burn the candles, which means like this. One puts an oil in the candle, and the candle burns out after a while. What do you do with the oil? In one place, the Shulchan Aruch says that you take the oil and you can use it for whatever you want. You can take that oil, put it into your salad and eat it. You can take that oil and light your own candle for your own purpose, not for the mitzvah. So you can use the oil that was left over. On the other hand, another place in the Shulchan Aruch, it says that the oil that was left over, one should not use. It becomes kodesh. You can't use it for anything. What do you do with it? You have to make a big medura, it says, a big fire, put it in there and burn it. You can't even spill it into the sink or the toilet or put it in the garbage because it's bizui mitzvah. And therefore one should make sure that he respects the mitzvah to the utmost level, and the only way you could get rid of it is put it on a fire and let it burn out, or light it until it burns out without benefiting from the oil. So there's a contradiction here. What do you do? If there's oil left, can you use it, like we said, and put it in your salad, or you have to burn it out and not take any use of it? The Bet Yosef himself answers the question for this this question, and he says like this. He says it depends if the oil was burnt within half an hour or after half an hour. If it was burnt within the half an hour, since you designated half an hour worth, you're not allowed to use that oil that was left for anything. You have to make a big fire and let it burn. But if the oil did burn for half an hour, and the candle did burn for half an hour, after half an hour, that already wasn't designated. You only designated half an hour time, and you can use that oil. There's another answer to this contradiction from the Bach. The Bach says it depends if you made a condition, a t'nai from the beginning. If you made a t'nai that in beginning you're saying, before you're lighting the candles, that any oil that would left I will use for my own purpose, then you can use it. Even after half an hour's worth, you can use it. But nevertheless, if you didn't make that condition, you can't use ever that oil. Even after the candle lit for half an hour, you can't use that oil. This was designated. Everything, even more than half an hour. What do we do today? So the halacha is, obviously, like the Shulchan Aruch, that if a person didn't make such a condition, he could use the candles and the oil only if it was burnt for half an hour. If it didn't burn for half an hour, within the half an hour, the candle was burnt out, and therefore you have now the oil that you designated for the mitzvah. Since the mitzvah is that the mitzvah was fulfilled, because that lakausa mitzvah and kafta and zakukla, once the candle was burnt out, you don't have to relight it. So what do you do with that oil? You have to make sure to put it again. Let's say if it's the next day still Chanukah, you put it the next day in the Chanukah cup, in the menorah cup, and you burn it again. If it's on the 8th night, you have to destroy it. So, initially, one should make a t'nai, like the Bach says, that he will use the oil after the candle was burnt out. But if it didn't, we can rely on the Shulchan Aruch opinion that if it was burnt out, if the candle lit for half an hour, you can use it. And if it wasn't, so then you reuse it. If it's the 8th night, we're saying you make a big fire and you burn it. Rav Eliashiv says that's not only the case by oil, it's also the case by wicks. Those wicks that you used for the candles, you can take them now and use it for your own purpose. What do you do with it? Also, you have to make sure to burn it as much as you can. If you can't do any of that anymore, so then those wicks, there's no other choice but to put it in the garbage.